So Babylonstoring is one of the oldest farms in South Africa. It dates back to 1692, which is only 40 years after the colony of South Africa started in 1652, when the Dutch people of the Dutch East India Company sailed around the southern tip of Africa on their way to the east to trade in spices. Now, this normally was a journey that took about 3 months, and halfway through this journey, the sailors on the ships would get sick because they weren't exposed to any fresh food, so they would be eating pork from a barrel or some kind of biscuits. So they established this halfway station at the southern tip of Africa in order for the passing ships to lay over and to get a supply of fresh produce. And in order for them to do that, they established a garden, a fruit and vegetable garden, which is still there today, and it's known as the Company Gardens of the Cape. And what happened was, while these sailors were laying over in this garden, they started walking around in the garden, and except for the produce that they ate, they also enjoyed just the beautifulness and the bounty of the garden. And so the garden got a botanical element to it. So fast forward a few hundred years, that garden became one of the most beautiful gardens in the world. And then in 1692, the piece of land that is known as Babylonstoring was granted to its first owner. And when he got the property, on our property, we've got this little conical hill that stands out. We are situated on the slopes of a mountain, and we have this little conical hill that stands out. And in those days, the people were very religious. So when he looked at this little hill, it made him think about the story in the Bible where the people have tried to build a tower that reached heaven, and then God created the dispersion of languages in order to stop them. So that happened in Babylon. So he named the farm Babylonstoring, meaning the Tower of Babel. Now, ever since its existence, it's always been a fruit and a vineyard farm. And in 2007, the current owner bought it with the idea of establishing a garden which is inspired by the Company Gardens of the Cape. And he did just that. He established an 8-acre fruit and vegetable garden in which everything is edible. And we also practice this whole farm-to-table type of concept where we serve people what we grow. And then from there on, the farm just grow organically. So what Babylonstoring is today is it consists of a 5-star farm hotel, we've got a garden spa, we've got 2 restaurants, we've got a winery, we've got an olive press, we've got a water and a juice plant, we've got a butchery. The Babylonstoring Cabernet Sauvignon is 100% cab. We've released our first vintage only in 2018. And so 60% of this wine is matured in second and third fill 300-litre French oak barrels, and of course the other 40% are in new oak, and it's for a period of 18 months. The grapes are also picked from 8 different blocks. So it's obviously a full-bodied wine. When you smell it, it opens up with rich dark berry fruits, but it's also got a savoury edge to it of graphite, cedar and wild herbs. So this obviously goes well with any kind of red meat, like a ribeye steak or a slow cooked lamb roast. Enjoy it. The Babylonstoring Chenin Blanc is one of the whites in our portfolio which lean more towards the fresher side. Seeing that 90% of the wine is made in stainless steel tanks. Now, up until 2020, 100% of the wine were made in stainless steel tanks, but in 2020 we were lucky in the way that we got clay amphora in our cellar, as well as 4,000-litre French oak foeders. So from 2020 onwards, about 10% of the wine is made in these clay amphora or the French oak foeders, and 90% is still in stainless steel. So that's why it's still more towards the fresher side. And when you taste and smell the wine, you get very nice flavors of ripe white peach, pineapple, and some lemon curd. And it's just perfect to have on its own or with something to eat. Enjoy it.